what if we built a fence, metaphorical fence around the customer's home, but we were also the company who actually installed their fence. You know what I mean? So we owned everything from that fence in.
Okay, that just blew my mind right there. What's going on, everybody? It is extremely hot. We have made it to summer, and there is a heat wave, and we are here with our beloved CEO, Christian Rattin, to go over a June recap episode. And this is a very special day, Christian. Why is that?
I don't think it's a very special day. I don't know if outside of maybe myself and maybe just a few people, they think it's a special day. But no, today is my birthday.
It's Christian's birthday.
Yep.
Insert round of applause here. Well, for us, this is a very special day because you mean so much to us. And personally, you mean a lot to me as a friend, not just as someone that's been a professional leader and mentor in my life, but someone that has helped me with my road to recovery and sobriety, and you've just been an inspiration to me. So I want to just get that right out the way. And we have a really interesting icebreaker for this one.
I just tell you that you inspire me every day.
Oh, thank you, man. So we're gonna hug real quick before we get into it. So I want you to close your eyes a second. Okay. I'm just going to freestyle this one.
All right.
I want you to imagine and remember Christian as a 6-year-old, his 6th birthday.
Okay.
It's summer. Your grandmother, who you love, is taking you to Toys R Us. And you are in the aisles of Toys R Us.
Yep.
And you see this amazing ad set up for the Nintendo Entertainment System, right?
Yep.
And I want you to imagine that summer where your parents were getting a condo and you're stuck on a resort.
Yeah. Man, you went deep.
And you played a game.
Okay.
And that game was Excite Bike.
It was.
Open up your eyes, my friend. Happy birthday, my friend.
Oh, I think so good. Oh, do I have to? Oh, yeah.
There you go. Does this take you back?
Oh, my God.
So
much.
Christian, what you don't realize is that for the last couple weeks, I've been working on a YouTube video about what could I get my CEO for his birthday, and somebody that truly has it all. The one thing I can get you is to gift back your childhood. And so I went on a hunt. And I got you your own NES.
Stop it.
Excite Bike is in there, but then California Games as well. It's got the greatest. It's got the skateboarding game that you remember. You said Santa Cruz, but that's actually just one of the mini games.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, and what's really cool also is, so obviously you don't have a CRT TV, so it's okay. Jared thought of this. This is an AV to HD upscaler with an HDMI cable, so you can plug this and play it with your family.
Dude, thank you so much.
And
amazing.
No, Amy's your player too as well, so I got her a controller as well. So
that's amazing.
Yep.
Thank you.
We're here with the birthday boy, and we had a really epic icebreaker there.
That was good.
Yeah. So, look, we just finished June, or about to finish June. It's becoming a very hot summer already. I would say even more than last summer. I don't remember hitting like triple digits this quickly.
The summer broke earlier last year.
Yeah.
It broke earlier. Actually, we had some hot days in April that led into May, so we had a stronger May last year than we did this year. But I don't think we ever had a week like we're expecting to have this week, where it's going to be in the 90s. And I watched the news or the weather like crazy, and it was they called it a like a heat envelope or something that's enveloping the Midwest right now. That's just kind of like sitting there. So it's going to last for a while, which is great because extended temperatures are what we look for.
Yeah. So what were some of the biggest wins or standouts that you can kind of think of for the month of June from our team?
I think one thing, and I can't remember if we mentioned this last time or not, but obviously bringing Shara Evans in as our director of marketing has been huge. Really just finding areas of opportunity throughout the business to improve our talent level and bring people in that have seen what we're trying to do. Not that we want to replicate what other organizations do, but I think that level of experience is really important. And then, I think some other wins for me personally are we've really dove into plumbing. So as HVAC is kind of operational, we've got some great leadership over there. We've really put a huge focus on the plumbing division, taking advantage of this time to go really work in the department and on the department. Actually, to the point where I have Evie actually has 2 hats, literal physical hats. And when we get on our meetings, we're working on the department. I have her change her hat just so she gets into that mentality. That's how we have to think about it. As our leadership continues to expand and we continue to grow, people have to still work in the day-to-day.
Yeah.
But you have to take time every single day to get out of the day-to-day and do something that's going to impact us 6 months from now.
Sure.
And we're doing that in plumbing. And so it's not a light switch. It's a slow burn, but we're already seeing some of the things. I will, because it happened today, and this won't probably come out until a little bit later, I'm going to shout out one of the big wins. Will Bully, I don't know if you saw him here. Guy got a haircut. Looks like $1 million.
Nice.
So let's shout out Will Bully for that haircut.
Yeah. We're getting you new headshots today.
I said, get that guy a new headshot.
We're actually doing headshots.
Are you really?
Yeah, 2 p.m. I'm not even joking.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you can come in.
And then I'll tease this one a little bit. It's always interesting sharing future goals with the organization, because I want to balance not freaking people out about where we're trying to go, but I also want to be transparent about where we're trying to go, because people need to know.
Yeah.
And this will be more spoken about in the coming weeks when we get together with the entire team in Columbus and Dayton and do our quarterly recap meeting, where your managers and leaders will make breakfast for you. That's the commitment I made. So we are putting that together as a team, people getting behind that. But we have spoken to the executive leadership team, and the ownership group have gotten together, and we've come up with the plan as to where we want to be 3 years from now. And my commitment to you guys is we have absolutely zero interest in talking to private equity. We have zero interest in selling this business. We are trying to build something to last. We are building something great. We are building a Jim Collins company. If you guys don't know what that means, highly recommend anybody in the organization reading the book Good to Great. It's fantastic. But we have a big goal for 2027.
Yeah.
December 31st of 2027, we have a big goal, and we're going to start moving towards that goal in a big way. And so what that's going to look like is just, we're going to continue to look to bring in great people. So if you know great people, let's bring them here. And we're going to continue to look to expand our offerings and our markets. And so a lot of excitement if you're here and you're looking for opportunity to find a new path, a new place to be. I can't think of a better organization to be with right now than 5 Star.
Well said, Christian. And 2 things that just kind of stood out to me were expanding our offerings and markets without, disclosing too much.
Sure.
Could you elaborate on what that looks like?
When I think about 5 Star, I think about we can grow in 2 ways, right? You can grow horizontally. And when I think about horizontal growth, that would be fully establishing ourselves in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking about new markets, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Nashville. All of those are on the table. There's another way we can grow. We can stay just in Ohio, and we can grow vertically. How do you grow vertically? Well, right now we've stacked HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. What if we offered water restoration? Yeah. What if we offered pest control? What if we built a fence around the metaphorical fence around the customer's home, but we were also the company who actually installed their fence. You know what I mean? So we owned everything from that fence in.
Okay, that just blew my mind right there.
And so, what is a demand service at somebody's home? Garage doors. I think we'd want to stay in demand. So, what do I mean by demand? Windows and doors are not a demand, because you can choose to do that when you want.
Sure.
Whereas if your garage door breaks, it has to be fixed, because you have to access it. So it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to enhancing a customer's experience as well, because at that point the customer is building a rapport with us and creating that kind of 5-star fanatic, that loyalty, that trust. They know us, and I'm the type of shopper too when it comes to just my consumer goods. I like going to Walmart because I can get everything.
Well, I was just going to say that, right? Like, why did Walmart add grocery stores? And why does Meijer and Giant Eagle, why did they add a Walmart style like sporting goods department?
Sure.
You know, and it's
clothes, electronics.
People want convenience.
Yeah.
People want easy. And so I think the more we can, when we prove ourselves in the home, why wouldn't they just keep wanting to call us? And that's my experience with people that I poll out in the world. And I think that's the way we should be looking to do it.
Sure. It's like early stage dating. If it just works, it works.
That's right.
Stay off the apps. So, Christian, we're heading into definitely our busy season right now, and our field staff is out there working hard. What advice would you have to the team to kind of just stay focused and energized, especially as they're working longer hours and the grind just seems maybe sometimes a little overwhelming?
Yeah, I'd say one, stay hydrated.
Yeah,
you know,
please
stay hydrated. Make sure you get plenty of cold fluids in you, and then the thing is, there's not a fancy answer to this one. The reality is what we actually need to do right now is slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
We take our time. So if you're on the front end of the sale, if you're the tip of the spear, meaning you're the one actually converting the consumer into a customer of ours, when you get that job, slow down and make sure you've checked all the boxes, that you've set that job up correctly, the homeowner understands what we're going to do, that you've set up your partner, your install partner, your service partner. If you're not the one performing the work, who's coming behind you has the best notes, the best pictures, the best videos to use to affect the work that you sold in the best possible way to maximize their day. And for those people, it's the same thing. Take it. We don't want to move slow, but we want to move with intentionality. And so the funny thing is, there's not like a fancy answer here. It's really be great, execute at the highest level, and just let's make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's the best way possible. This is the time that all the work we've done over the last 6 months should be paying us off now, because we've put the work in from training, from educating, from making sure we're tooled correctly. We have the right products on the van to get what we need to do and get it done and capture that revenue today.
Yeah, we've all worked so hard on making sure those systems are in place so we can keep that 5-star experience, even when it gets challenging, even when it gets busy. So, like you said, we have the tools.
Yeah.
Now let's use them.
Yep.
Great. So we are going into the summer season, and I always like to kind of focus on one of our core values. And one thing that you demonstrate on a daily basis as a leader is your passion. How have you seen the passion show up in our team within the last month, and why is it especially important during this summer season to go to a customer's house still having passion for what we do?
So I think I'm going to answer that with two things. One, I'm super proud of Sean Moffitt. Sean Moffitt actually took a vacation this month.
Sean, you took a vacation.
He took a vacation, but so from a passion perspective, I'm so thrilled that he was able to do that. Guillermo Mo down in our Dayton plumbing division stepped up and did an incredible job. He was passionate, he was excited, and he took it seriously, and he covered Sean while he was out, and it was awesome to watch. But to the point that you made there at the end of your question about serving our customer with passion, I think it's remembering and having empathy for this is probably the worst day they've had in a while, especially if you're talking about from the HVAC side. I don't know if anybody's ever lost their air conditioning when it's 90 degrees outside, but the rapidity with which your house temperature rises is insane. Like your house will go from 70 degrees to 78, 82, 85 degrees, like so fast. It'll make your head spin.
And those extreme temperatures, you are unable to do anything in your home. You can't sleep. You can't get work done. No. You can't watch television. It's so uncomfortable.
And no amount of fans or window units are really going to take care of it.
Yeah.
My air conditioner went out a few years ago, and it was a Saturday. And even just in the 3 hours I waited for service, we talked about renting a hotel room because I didn't know what the repair was going to be.
Sure.
Turns out it was just a capacitor, so it was very easy to fix.
Yeah.
But then it took about 9 hours for the house to get back down to temp after it had heated up as quickly as it did. And it wasn't even as hot as it is today.
Sure.
And so, as we're walking into the house, the passion that I would love for us to have is empathy for the consumer, empathy for the situation they're in, and a remembrance that this may be the third call you've run today. You're sweaty, you're hot, you're annoyed even. Maybe the last call didn't go your way. Let's not take that out on the customer that has nothing to do with that. Is just here and just wants our service. And so, I'd say, let's be passionate about having empathy for our customer.
Christian, what gets you especially excited about the upcoming months here at 5 Star?
So what I'm really excited about is that we've put such an incredible team together in the HVAC division that I feel so confident with that team that I am down to checking in with them maybe 15 minutes a week. Which is allowing us to deploy our most talented resources to the plumbing division, so that a year from now we're sitting with 2 competing divisions that are fighting for the market share, where they're both generating $25 to $30 million, and we're talking about HVAC and plumbing in an almost equal way.
Sure.
And so I get really excited about working. I like working on things. I like working on challenges and problems, and I like having very fast solutions to those challenges and problems, and breaking things and then fixing them and breaking them and fixing them. And that's what we're doing in plumbing right now. So, it's not going to be perfect, but already seeing like all the lessons we learned in growing HVAC and being able to avoid some of those common pitfalls that we had to endure over there. And just with the team leveling up and buying into who we are, we're already seeing how much faster this is going to go.
Yeah, and the growth has been so quick too, since we got into the plumbing market to, now. I mean, we've been doing HVAC for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of learning as well that now we can apply to these different verticals, and it's only going to get better and better as we keep stacking verticals.
In the past, when we've grown, we've often sacrificed culture, we've sacrificed the day-to-day, we've sacrificed information. And I hear a lot from people who are joining us from other organizations where the leadership at those organizations basically just become a faceless email. And so I'm trying to be really intentional about FaceTime with our folks, not just from me, but from our entire team. And evidenced by the fact that it's 95 degrees today. We could have easily scrapped our onboarding because, is that the most important thing right now? Or is revenue the most important thing? And we didn't do that. We put the leaders in the room and we took an hour out of our day and we spent time with our new people so that we can show them, demonstrate to them what it means to work at 5 Star. And it's not just about chasing the dollar. It's about building people up. It's about making sure people fit, because when we do that, the money just flows in and we don't have to fight so hard for it.
Christian, we're gonna end this podcast with a question. Just I kind of want to know, it's your birthday today. What do you got planned? How would you want to spend your 30th birthday?
Thank you. No, I'm 45. I'm not ashamed of aging. I'm a big believer. Like, I don't know why we have this culture of like anti-aging.
I don't either.
I don't mind my gray hair, and I'm excited because somebody asked me about yesterday. Actually, it was Lucas's wife asked me about like how do I feel at 45. I was like, I actually feel really great. Like I feel like all this work I've done. So something I always juxtapose on birthdays is that 12 years ago I had a birthday and I was homeless. And I had a cell phone, but it would only work if I was on the internet. Or if I had Wi-Fi. I mean. And on that birthday, I had gotten so far away from my family and friends and a community that 11 people reached out to me, total 11 people, and it was hard. And today, I judge my birthday, and it's not like from an ego perspective, like how many people reach out to me, but it's evidence of the work that God is doing in my life to build a community around me and to give me an opportunity to talk to people and to be in relationships with people. And I had more people reach out to me from the time I went to bed and woke up this morning than I did on that day. So the fact that yesterday I spent time with more than 11 people celebrating my birthday, and the fact that hundreds of people will reach out to me today, that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, it's that direct impact you're making in those people's lives that, make them want to go out of the way to go get an NES system. You know, it's your heart.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And to answer your question practically, like, Olivia's done a really good job. I have no idea what I'm doing today. I know I have dinner with my family later tonight, but from this moment until the rest of the day, I legitimately don't know what's happening. So shout out to Olivia, because I've heard through the grapevine, through some of the folks that she's talked to, that she has put in a lot of work behind the scenes to make today happen. So I'm excited to find out what is going to happen. So
I guess we shall see. And I don't know anything. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This was our June recap podcast episode. We have a great lineup of Off the Clock podcast episodes coming up. We're hitting the HVAC installers.
Nice.
We got Chris coming up, Chris Miller. We got Ziggy Walker.
Ziggy was so happy about that.
Oh, he was. It was literally like pulling teeth. I had to lure him and trick him to even, like, once he was in this area of the table, he had no choice. But
well, and then it wasn't like 3 or 4 days later that he won the prize and he had to get his picture taken again. Yeah. He was like, enough with the cameras.
He messages me the day of the shoot, and he's like, hey, by the way, I can't do it. I'm going to Dayton. And I was like, you got to pick up a vehicle here, though, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I'll see you at 7.
I love it. Good job.
Yeah. Christian, thanks so much, man. And happy birthday, brother. And we'll see you next time.